Not long ago, El Salvador was the last place you'd book a vacation, unless you were a war reporter or had a death wish. For decades, headlines screamed gangs, danger, and neighborhoods you'd never dare enter. But now, the country's done a total 180. Suddenly it's all infinity pools, latte art, and record-breaking tourism. In 2024, nearly 4 million people visited, a number that would have sounded like a joke a few years ago. The transformation is jaw-dropping. Streets once feared now buzz with coffee shops and surf hostels. How did El Salvador pull off this wild rebrand? It wasn't just a catchy jingle or a slick ad campaign. It's a story involving a social media-savvy president, a massive prison, and a security overhaul that's as controversial as it is effective. President Nayib Bukele didn't just promise change, he bulldozed the old order with a zero-tolerance crackdown on gangs. In a country long plagued by violence and fear, Bukele's approach was nothing short of revolutionary. He declared war on the gangs that had terrorized Salvadorans for decades, vowing to restore peace and security to the streets. His message was clear: no more compromises, no more looking the other way. Under a sweeping state of emergency, tens of thousands were arrested, and a mega-prison was built to house them. The government's iron-fisted tactics meant that entire neighborhoods were raided, and suspected gang members were rounded up in massive numbers. The new prison, one of the largest in the Americas, became a symbol of Bukele's uncompromising stance. For many, it was a sign that the government was finally taking control. The result? Homicides dropped by over 70%, and extortion rackets vanished almost overnight. Streets once ruled by fear became eerily quiet, and headlines celebrated the dramatic fall in crime. For the first time in years, families could imagine a future without the constant threat of violence. The transformation was so rapid it felt almost unreal to many Salvadorans. For everyday Salvadorans, it's like waking up in a new country, one where you can walk at night without fear. Children play outside after dark, and parents no longer worry every time a loved one leaves the house. The sense of relief is palpable, and hope has returned to communities that once lived in the shadow of gangs. Tourists are flooding in, businesses are booming, and the streets feel safer than ever. Cafes and restaurants that once closed early now stay open late, and the country's famous beaches are drawing visitors from around the world. The economic boost is visible everywhere, as new shops open and locals find new opportunities in a safer environment. But there's a catch. Human rights groups warn of mass arrests, lost due process, and innocent people caught in the dragnet. Critics argue that the crackdown has come at a steep price, with reports of overcrowded prisons, families torn apart, and legal protections swept aside. The fear of arbitrary detention now haunts some Salvadorans, even as others celebrate the newfound safety. The debate is fierce. Are safe streets worth the price of civil liberties? Supporters say Bukele's methods have saved lives and restored hope, while opponents warn that sacrificing rights for security is a dangerous path. The country is divided, with passionate voices on both sides of the argument. El Salvador's miracle comes with a shadow, and the world is watching to see what happens next. International observers are closely monitoring the situation, wondering if this model will inspire other nations, or serve as a cautionary tale about the cost of order. For now, the country's image has flipped, and the world can't look away. Once known for violence, El Salvador is now making headlines for its transformation, drawing curiosity and skepticism in equal measure. The question remains, at what cost? As El Salvador steps into the spotlight, its future hangs in the balance, and the choices made today will echo for generations to come. With safety restored and a new sense of optimism in the air, North Americans are flocking to El Salvador in droves, seeking not just a vacation, but a lifestyle transformation. The country, once overlooked by travelers, is now buzzing with excitement as visitors from the US and Canada arrive daily, eager to experience a destination that feels both exotic and welcoming. They're trading snow shovels for surfboards, swapping icy driveways for sun-drenched beaches, and the rhythmic sound of Pacific waves. For many, it's a dream come true, a chance to escape the cold and embrace a laid-back tropical lifestyle. Forget Florida. The new migration is southward. Retirees, remote workers, and families are booking month-long, even season-long stays. They're drawn by the promise of endless sunshine, world-class surf, and a cost of living that stretches their retirement savings or remote work salaries further than ever before. The beaches are alive with laughter, and the cafes are filled with the hum of laptops and friendly conversation. In December 2024 alone, over 170,000 foreigners arrived. an all-time record for the country. Americans led the pack, but Canadians, Europeans, and even adventurous travelers from Asia are joining the wave. The arrival halls are bustling, and the energy is palpable. El Salvador has quickly become a hotspot for digital nomads and long-term travelers. Hotels and vacation rentals are booked solid, and new co-working spaces are popping up along the coast to meet the demand. The appeal is clear: reliable internet, modern amenities, and a community of like-minded adventurers who value both work and play. Add to that the unbeatable value: meals by the sea for a fraction of what you'd pay back home, vibrant local markets, and a cost of living that lets you enjoy more for less. Whether you're sipping fresh coconut water or shopping for handmade crafts, your wallet will thank you. The government is rolling out the welcome mat in a big way. Tourism police ensure visitors feel safe, while new roads and signage make it easier than ever to explore the country's hidden gems. There's a sense of pride in the air as locals greet newcomers with open arms. Billions of dollars are pouring into new developments. Hotels, resorts, and infrastructure projects are creating jobs and transforming the coastline. The vibe is unmistakably work from paradise, with palm trees swaying overhead and the ocean just steps away from your workspace. While debates about human rights and politics continue in the background, most visitors are more concerned with Wi-Fi speed, the best local coffee, and where to catch the next sunset. For them, El Salvador is about living in the moment and making the most of every day. The snowbirds have spoken. El Salvador is the new winter escape, a place where adventure, relaxation, and opportunity meet. For those seeking a fresh start or just a break from the cold, this Central American gem is ready to welcome you home. Once a well-kept secret among a tight-knit community of surfers, El Salvador's Pacific coast has become the epicenter of a modern-day gold rush. Only this time, the gold is the endless, perfect waves rolling in from the Pacific. For decades, these shores were whispered about in surf circles, a hidden paradise where only the most dedicated wave chasers ventured, braving rough roads and remote villages for a shot at uncrowded perfection. Today, those legendary waves that once drew only the bravest have become a magnet for surfers from every corner of the globe. The lineups are now packed with international crowds, boards of every color and style bobbing in the water, and the sound of different languages mixing with the crash of the surf. Surf towns like Tunco have undergone a dramatic transformation. What was once a sleepy fishing village is now alive with energy. Boutique hotels line the streets, smoothie bars serve up tropical blends, and surf schools offer lessons to eager beginners. The town pulses with music, laughter, and the constant hum of excitement. The Salvadoran government has gone all in, rebranding the coastline as Surf City and investing heavily in global surf competitions. Banners and billboards announce a new era, drawing the world's attention to these once quiet beaches. New infrastructure has sprung up almost overnight. Smooth roads now wind along the coast. Luxury villas overlook the ocean, and bustling developments have turned once-forgotten villages into thriving tourism hubs. The local economy is booming, with new opportunities at every turn. The transformation is everywhere. Fishermen who once cast their nets at dawn now teach surf lessons to visitors, sharing their knowledge of the waves. Salvadoran families run busy pupuserias right on the sand, serving up traditional flavors to hungry travelers. But with this rapid growth comes a new challenge: how to balance prosperity with preservation. Environmental activists and locals alike are working to protect the coastline, hoping to keep the charm and natural beauty that made these towns special in the first place. For now, there's a sense of optimism in the air. Locals and visitors mingle at beachfront cafes, surfers celebrate their latest ride, and the markets buzz with life. Everyone is riding the wave of prosperity, hoping it lasts. The surf is up, and the future feels wide open, full of promise, adventure, and the hope that this golden era will endure. El Salvador's coast is no longer a secret. It's a global sensation, and its story is just beginning. Beyond the beaches, El Salvador's coffee country is thriving. The Ruta de las Flores, once risky, is now a top tourist trail. Think scenic towns, coffee farm tours, and tastings with volcano views. Visitors can trace the journey from cherry to cup, savoring world-class brews in the highlands. Meanwhile, San Salvador is having its own renaissance. Upscale neighborhoods buzz with new restaurants, cocktail bars, and a nightlife that's finally safe to enjoy. The historic downtown is being revitalized, with restored buildings and cultural events drawing locals and tourists alike. The capital's gritty reputation is fading, replaced by optimism and style. San Salvador is now a destination, not a detour. El Salvador's glow-up isn't just coastal, it's urban and caffeinated. The country's ready for its close-up, from beans to boulevards. El Salvador's volcanoes are legendary. Over 20 dramatic peaks dominate the landscape. Hiking Santa Ana volcano with its surreal crater lake is now a must-do, not a risk. In the past, trails were as dangerous as the eruptions, with robberies a real threat. Today, guided hikes and tourism police have made these adventures safe and accessible. Ecotourism is booming. Explore cloud forests, volcanic complexes, and national parks without fear. The focus has shifted from danger to discovery. The volcanoes are finally open to all, offering epic views and unforgettable experiences. Adventure in El Salvador is now about the climb, not the crime. Ready to go? Here's how to make your trip smooth. Don't drink the tap water. Stick to bottled for everything. Book your hotel early, especially in peak season. The secret's out and rooms fill fast. While violent crime has plummeted, keep your wits about you. Petty theft can still happen. Use official taxis or ride shares, not local buses, for safe travel. Solo travelers, especially women, will find a welcoming vibe, but standard precautions still apply. Share your itinerary, trust your instincts, and use trusted transport after dark. El Salvador rewards prepared travelers. Don't be the headline for the wrong reasons. Pack smart, stay alert, and you'll have an unforgettable adventure. The country's ready for you, just come prepared. The US still lists El Salvador as reconsider travel, lumping it with countries like Nigeria. But on the ground, millions of tourists are posting sunset pics, not SOS signals. The disconnect is real official warnings lag behind the new reality. These advisories are slow to update, often missing the dramatic improvements in safety. Don't ignore official advice, but balance it with recent travel blogs and local reports. El Salvador is both under a warning and in the middle of a tourism boom. The official story and the tourist experience are worlds apart, and honestly, the tourist world looks a lot more fun. So should you go? The answer? Yes, with eyes wide open. El Salvador isn't just a beach getaway, it's a front-row seat to a national transformation. You'll surf, sip coffee, and witness a country rewriting its story in real time. It's a place that challenges, surprises, and sticks with you long after you leave. Come for the waves, stay for the coffee, and soak up the optimism. If you crave adventure with substance, El Salvador is waiting. It's beautiful, complicated, and unforgettable. Book ahead, pack smart, and don't drink the tap water. The world's most fascinating paradise is ready for its next chapter. Are you?